Lena sat by the window, watching the rain fall softly on the glass. The gray sky matched her mood. She held a small photo in her hand. It was old, a little worn at the corners. In the picture, she and her best friend Sam were smiling on a summer day. That day felt like a lifetime ago. Sam had moved away 3 months ago, got a job offer on a space station orbiting a distant planet. "It's a great opportunity," he had said with excitement in his eyes. "We'll still talk, Lena, I promise." But things had changed. At first, they messaged every day. They shared jokes, stories, and even meals over video calls. The days passed. The messages slowed. Time zones made it hard. The connection wasn't always stable. Soon the silence grew longer. Lena missed him terribly. She stared out the window at the city. The buildings were tall and shining, filled with life and lights. But Lena felt alone. She still worked at the science lab, still walked the same streets. But nothing felt the same without Sam's voice. She wanted to reach out. She wanted to send a message. Maybe just a hi or are you okay? But something held her back. What if he had moved on? What if she was just a memory now? Her thoughts were interrupted by a soft sound. Her tablet beeped. It was a message. Her heart jumped. But it wasn't from Sam. It was from a news app. Human engineers build fastest data link between outer colonies, and Earth reconnects families across the stars. Lena stared at the screen. She clicked the article. It showed smiling families, crying grandparents, children talking to parents who lived on distant moons. The new technology had made fast communication possible. No more long delays. She felt a spark inside her. For the first time in weeks, it wasn't just sadness. It was something small, something bright. Hope. She quickly opened her old chat with Sam. Her fingers trembled a little as she typed, "Hey Sam, I saw the news. I guess the stars just got a little closer. I've missed you." She hit send and stared at the screen. The message showed delivered. Now all she could do was wait. The night passed slowly. She sat with a blanket, sipping warm tea, listening to the hum of the city. She didn't sleep much, but her heart felt lighter. She had done something. She had reached out. That meant something. At sunrise, a soft chime rang from her tablet. A new message. Her hands shook as she opened it. "Lena, I saw the news too. I've missed you every day." I didn't know how to say it. "I'm so glad you wrote. Can we talk?" Tears filled her eyes, not from sadness, but from relief, from happiness. From that powerful human feeling that even when the universe feels too big, we reach out anyway. Lena smiled for the first time in days. "Yes," she whispered to herself. "We can talk." Outside her window, the rain had stopped. The clouds began to part, and a beam of sunlight touched her. Face asterisk every night, Noah sat at his small desk beside the window. The stars were bright above the hills, shining like tiny lanterns in the dark sky. He used to love watching them.
Ow.
They only reminded him of how far Mia had gone. Mia had been his closest friend since childhood. She was funny, brave, and always full of ideas. When she got accepted to the Mars research program, Noah was proud of her, but also afraid. It wasn't just another city. It wasn't another country. It was another planet. "I'll call you all the time," Mia had said with a bright smile. "You'll get tired of hearing my voice." But things had changed at first. The messages came every day. Mia sent photos of red skies and rocky plains. She talked about her research, her team, and how strange gravity felt. But then, slowly, the messages stopped. 1 week passed. Then 2. Then a whole month with nothing. Noah kept opening their old chat. He would type something, then delete it. Again and again. "Hey, are you okay? I miss talking to you. It's not the same without you." But he never pressed send. Maybe she was too busy. Maybe she had moved on. Maybe he just didn't matter anymore. These thoughts kept him awake. One evening, Noah walked to the nearby lake. It was quiet, and the stars reflected in the water. He sat on the wooden dock and pulled out his tablet. He looked up at the sky. "Mars is up there somewhere," he whispered. "I wonder if she's looking at Earth right now." A little boy walked past with his mother, holding a toy spaceship. He turned and looked at Noah. "Are you sad?" the boy asked. Noah was surprised. "A little. Did someone go far away?" Noah nodded. "My sister went to Venus Base," the boy said. "I write her letters. Even if she doesn't answer right away, I still write. Mom says it helps." Then the boy smiled and ran ahead, his spaceship flying through the air. Noah sat. "They're thinking." The boy was right. He didn't need the perfect words. He didn't need to wait for a reply. What mattered was the reaching out. That was the human way. We try. We hope. We don't give up even when it's hard. That night, back at his desk, Noah opened the chat again. His fingers hesitated, but only for a second. He typed, "Hey Mia, I know you're busy and maybe you don't have time to talk right now. But I just wanted you to know I still think about you. I hope you're okay. I miss our talks. The stars look beautiful tonight. I hope you can see them too." This time he hit send, and this time he smiled. He didn't know when Mia would answer. Maybe she wouldn't, but he had done something important. He had spoken from his heart. He had reached across space with something no distance could stop human connection. Outside, the stars kept shining, but now they didn't seem so far. Closing note. This chapter shows that even small acts like sending a message carry great strength. HFY is not about fighting or showing off. It's about caring deeply and never giving up on others, even when the silence feels heavy. This is how humanity shines, even across galaxies. Asterisk Ava sat alone on the roof of her apartment building, her knees pulled close to her chest. It was cold tonight. The wind brushed her hair gently, and far above her, the stars blinked quietly. Somewhere out there, her sister, June, was living on Europa Station, one of Jupiter's moons. Ava missed her more than she could say. June had always been the one who made Ava laugh. They grew up together in the same room, shared secrets, late-night snacks, and dreams. When June got accepted to the Europa exploration team, they both cried, happy and scared at the same time. "I'll send you a video every day," June had promised. At first, she did funny clips, dancing in zero gravity, frozen flowers in science pods. Ava watched them again and again. But then the video stopped. 3 weeks had passed. No messages, no calls, no explanation. Ava had tried to contact her, but the network gave only silence at school. People talked about exciting space missions, new discoveries, and human success. But Ava felt none of that. She felt alone. She felt forgotten. She didn't blame June. She was probably busy or something went wrong with the signal. The silence still hurt. Ava missed June's laughter most of all. She looked up at the stars and whispered, "Are you okay?" That night, Ava opened her old sketchbook. She began to draw. She drew June's smile, her curly hair floating in zero gravity, her bright eyes full of dreams. Then she drew the stars, connecting them into pictures only the two of them would understand. She posted the sketch online with a simple message. "To my sister on Europa, I miss you. I hope you can still laugh." She didn't expect anything, but the next morning her drawing had been shared hundreds of times. People from Earth, Mars, and even Luna Base had commented. "This touched my heart. I haven't talked to my brother in a long time. I think I'll message him today. Hope your sister sees this." Ava smiled. She didn't feel as alone anymore. Later that afternoon, her school had a virtual assembly. The topic was Voices Across Space, a program helping families reconnect with loved ones in deep space. Ava listened quietly until a voice caught her attention. "I want to say something," the speaker said. "I'm June. I live on Europa Station. If anyone knows Ava from Earth, tell her I got her drawing. I cried when I saw it. The signal was broken here, but we fixed it yesterday. I miss you too, Ava." Ava gasped. Her hands covered her mouth. Tears filled her eyes, not sad tears, but full of something warm and bright. June had seen it. She was okay. She still remembered that evening. Ava and June finally talked over video call. The screen flickered, but June's face appeared. Tired, a little older, but still smiling. You haven't changed, June laughed, still drawing stars. You haven't either, Ava replied, still making people cry. They both laughed. That night, the stars above Earth felt different to Ava. Not cold, not distant. They felt like a bridge, because when humans care, they find a way. Even across light years, even through silence, we reach out, we share, we draw, we speak. That's our power. Eli sat at the old piano in the corner of his small room. His fingers gently touched the keys, but he didn't play.
Oh.
The room was quiet. The soft hum of the city outside felt far away. He stared at the empty music sheet in front of him. It had only a few notes, written notes from a song he had started. Months ago, with his friend Kara, they had worked on it together, every evening after school. It was going to be their masterpiece, a song for Earth Day celebrations. But now, Kara was gone. Not gone forever, just far away. She had moved with her family to Alpha Station, orbiting Neptune. It was a once-in-a-lifetime chance for her parents, who were engineers. Kara had been excited and scared. Eli had promised he'd keep writing music, and she promised to help him finish the song, even from space. But space was silent now. At first, she sent short messages. Busy setting up school here? Where the view is amazing, but then nothing. Weeks passed. Eli checked his... Liam stood in the middle of the rooftop garden, watering the small green plants that grew between solar panels and metal rails. The sky above was cloudy, and a soft wind moved through the leaves. He looked around. Everything was still in place. Tiny tomatoes, the sunflower patch, the mint leaves Kara loved to smell. But she wasn't there anymore. Kara had moved to Titan Colony 2 months ago. Her parents were assigned to the Agricultural Development Program. It was her dream to help grow food on distant moons. She had always loved plants, always said that life should grow everywhere. They had built this garden together. Every weekend after school, dirt under their nails, sunlight on their backs, laughter in the air. Now it felt quiet, and Liam didn't laugh as much. At first, she sent him videos of Titan's orange sky, the strange soil domes, the machines that helped seeds sprout in the cold. I wish you were here, she said in one message. Then the messages stopped. Maybe the signal broke. Maybe she got too busy. Liam didn't know, but he missed her. Deeply, he tried to keep the garden alive. He watered it, pulled out weeds. But something felt missing. He sat down near the sunflower patch and took a deep breath. The wind smelled like mint and metal. Kara, he whispered, did you forget me? He felt silly talking to the air. Still, he stayed there for a long time. That evening, he opened their old project folder on his tablet. Inside were their garden plans, notes, and plant tracking logs. One file caught his eye. It was labeled Titan Dream. He opened it. It was a short video Kara had recorded before she left. Her face filled the screen. Her smile was a little sad. If you're watching this, she said, then I'm probably far away, and I probably miss you a lot. I wanted you to know this garden is part of our story. It's not just mine. It's yours too. If the sunflowers bloom without me, please send me a picture. I'll be looking. Liam covered his mouth, trying not to cry. He looked out the window. The sunflowers were tall, now taller than before. He ran up to the roof, took a photo, and stared at it for a while. Then he opened the old message thread. No new replies, but he typed anyway. The sunflowers bloomed, Kara. I think they missed. You too. He attached the photo and pressed send. The message showed queued. Maybe it would never go through. But he felt better, like a small weight had lifted from his chest. 2 days passed, then one morning, while checking the plants, his tablet pinged new message from Kara. Liam, I can't believe you sent that. Our signal was frozen for weeks. I got your picture today, and it made me cry. The sunflowers look perfect. You kept everything alive. You always do. Thank you. We'll send you a Titan flower soon. It just bloomed in our lab. Liam laughed a real, full laugh. He touched a sunflower gently. It leaned in the wind like it was listening. Sometimes distance can make people feel forgotten, but not humans. We find ways to grow, even in silence. Keep the garden alive, hoping one day someone will see it and remember. That's our strength. That's our strength. HFY. Asterisk Maya sat alone at the back of her art class, her sketchbook open in front of her. Her pencil moved slowly, tracing circles and dots across the paper. She was drawing stars again. Not just any stars. She was drawing the star map her brother Leo used to talk about. Before he left, Leo had always dreamed of going to space. He worked hard, studied harder, and finally got accepted into the Space Explorer program. He was on a research vessel near the edge of the solar system, studying strange particles and sending data back to Earth. At first, he sent messages every few days. Funny stories, cool space facts, even drawings of space creatures he imagined. But now it had been more than a month without a single word. The last message had said, "Signal might be weak for a while. Don't worry, I'll be thinking of you. Every time I look at the stars." Maya didn't reply then. She had just read it, smiled a little, went back to her homework. Now, she wished she had said something more. She missed him. Not just the messages, but his voice, his laugh. The way he always encouraged her art, even when she thought it wasn't good. Now, every day after school, she sat in class and drew stars. Different shapes, different skies. Some with 2 moons, some with colorful dust clouds. She imagined Leo flying past them in his spaceship, waving at her. She never showed these drawings to anyone. They were just for her and for Leo, if he ever came back. One afternoon, her art teacher, Ms. Rena, stopped by her desk. "Maya, these are beautiful. You've drawn a whole galaxy here." Maya looked down, unsure what to say. "Ms." Rena smiled. "Kindly, would you like to share one of them in the school's virtual art show next week?" Maya shook her head. "They're not finished." Sometimes, Ms. Rena said softly, "Art doesn't need to be finished to speak to someone." Night Maya thought about what her teacher had said. She opened her sketchbook and chose one picture her favorite. A large star in the center with tiny trails of light reaching out like arms. Round it, she had drawn a little ship with a figure inside. She titled it, "Come Home Soon." She uploaded it to the school art show, quietly and without telling anyone. 3 days later, the show went live. Maya checked the comments out of curiosity. To her surprise, there were hundreds. "This drawing made me cry. My daughter is on Mars. I feel this deeply. Whoever drew this, thank you. My son hasn't called in weeks." Then one comment made her stop breathing. From Leo: "If this is my sister Maya. I just saw your drawing through the space network. You made the whole crew stop and stare. I miss you too. I'll be home as soon as I can." Maya stared at the screen. Her hand shook. Then she smiled, tears rolling down her cheeks. Leo had seen her stars. He was still out there, still thinking of her, still watching the skies they once dreamed of together. That night, Maya drew again. Not stars of distance, but stars of reunion. A ship returning. A hug. A sky full of light. Because humans do something special, we create beauty from sadness. We reach across space with pencil and heart, hope, even when the signal is weak, and sometimes the stars answer back. That's HFY. Asterisk Isla sat on the school rooftop during lunch, her sandwich untouched. The wind was cool and the sky above was clear, the soft blue stretching forever. She glanced at the empty chair next to Hertha, same chair where Zoe used to sit every day. Zoe had been Isla's best friend since childhood. They did everything. Together projects, late-night video calls, and rooftop lunches. But a few months ago, Zoe had moved to an orbiting station above Saturn. Her parents were selected for a long research mission. The move happened fast. Before leaving, Zoe had hugged Isla tightly. "I'll call you all the time," she said. "We'll still be close." But time and space had a way of changing things for her. The first few weeks, Zoe sent messages, funny videos, and updates. But then, the messages slowed down. One day, they stopped completely. No goodbye. No explanation. Isla kept sending short notes every week. Just simple things. "Hope you're doing okay. Miss you today. Saw your favorite movie again?" But there was never a reply. Now, even though the school was full of people, Isla felt alone. No one understood her jokes like Zoe did. No one asked how she was really feeling. The chair beside her remained empty, and so did the space in her heart. She wanted to stop hoping. She wanted to delete the chat. But something deep inside her said, not yet. That evening, Isla stayed up late. She opened their old message thread and scrolled through it. Their last real conversation had ended with a laughing emoji. Zoe had sent a photo of a Saturn sunset gold and violet light touching the rings. Under the picture, Isla typed, "The chair's still here, waiting for you, me too." She pressed send, not expecting anything. The next day passed like the others. The chair stayed empty. But after dinner, Isla's tablet blinked. New message. From Zoe. Isla gasped. She opened it quickly. Isla, I'm so sorry. Our comms were down. The station had a system failure. We couldn't send messages out. I saw all your notes today. I read every single one. You kept me going. You have no idea how much that meant. Then another message followed. I told the crew about your messages. They called you the girl who never gave up. They want to send you something. Can I call soon? Isla smiled so wide her cheeks hurt, her heart filled with warmth. Not just happiness, but something stronger. She hadn't given up, even when she felt small. Even when the silence grew heavy, she kept sending little pieces of her heart into the void, and it mattered. That night, Zoe called. The signal was a little shaky, but her face appeared, glowing with joy. You kept my seat warm? Zoe asked with a grin. Always, Isla said. They both laughed, because that's what humans do. We stay, we care, we wait. And even when we don't, here back, we still believe. We leave a chair open. We leave the light on. We send messages into space, hoping someone will catch them. And when they do, it changes everything. That is the power of hope. That is HFY. Ben walked slowly along the path behind his house. It was autumn now. The trees had turned gold and red, and dry leaves danced in the wind. He stopped near the old wooden bench where he and his cousin Arya used to sit every evening. Arya had been more than just family. She was his best friend. She listened when no one else did. She made him laugh when he felt low. They had shared dreams, talking about planets, drawing rockets, building tiny models together. But last year, Arya left. She was chosen for a student exchange program on a learning satellite near Pluto. Only a few students from Earth had been selected. It was an honor, and Ben had been proud. But proud didn't stop the sadness. Arya had written often in the beginning. Long letters full of excitement, how small Earth looked from out there, how cold space really was, how quiet the stars seemed. But the letters slowly stopped. Months passed. Ben wrote back every week. He filled pages with stories of home. How their dog, Max, was still chasing squirrels. How the neighbors planted new flowers. How he missed her every day. But there was never a reply. Now he walked to the bench every Saturday, like they used to do, and read one of his unsent letters aloud. Then he folded it carefully and tied it to a small kite. He released the kite into the wind, pretending it would find her somehow. Somewhere people in the town began to notice. Why do you send letters into the wind? An old man once asked. Ben smiled softly. Maybe one day the stars will listen. It's one chilly morning, a local reporter saw Ben's letter kite drift through the sky. She wrote an article called Boy Sends Letters to Pluto, a message of hope. It spread quickly. People shared the story online. Artists drew pictures of his kites. Kids from other towns started doing the same writing to family they missed. In space, or even across Earth. Then one evening, Ben's mother ran to him, holding his tablet. You need to see this. She said. Ben opened the screen. It was a video message. From Arya, her face looked older, tired but bright. Ben, she said, her voice cracking. They just fixed the main comms. I got your letters. All of them. The station captain read them during dinner. Everyone cried. One letter was tied to a kite in our last data drop. I don't know how, but it found me. Ben's eyes filled with tears. I never forgot you, Arya continued. Your words helped me feel close, even when I felt alone. You kept us all believing. And guess what? We're coming back next month. I'm coming home." The video ended. Ben just stood there, the wind gently moving around him. He looked up at the sky and whispered, "Thank you." That weekend, he still sent a kite at this time. It carried a short message, "I'll see you soon." Because that's what humans do. We keep writing. We keep hoping. We send letters into the wind, into the stars, into silence, believing someday we'll hear them. And sometimes, against all odds, they do. That is the heart of being human. That is HFY. Ravi sat on the floor of his bedroom, wearing old headphones and turning the dial on his grandfather's space radio. The machine was large and dusty, but it still worked. It crackled softly as he searched for signals. Across the stars, he wasn't looking for music or news. He was looking for her. Lena. They had met during a space camp on Luna Base 2 years ago. Ravi was from Earth and Lena was from a colony ship that traveled between moons. They had become best friends in just 1 week, watching stars together, building mini rovers, promising to stay in touch. They did for a while. Lena sent voice messages often. Her voice was soft and warm, and Ravi saved every one. She told him about her classes, her view of Saturn, and how sometimes she got homesick for Earth, even though she had never lived there. But then one day her messages stopped. Ravi messaged her again and again. "Are you okay? Miss talking to you. Hope you're safe." No reply. One day Ravi read in a space article that Lena's colony ship had gone silent due to signal damage. The crew was safe, but communication would be down for a long time. He didn't know how long. So every evening Ravi sat with the old radio, trying to find a trace of her voice in the static. He didn't tell anyone. It felt silly. But he couldn't give up. Not on her. One night the radio buzzed louder than usual. Then a voice broke through the noise. Faint, broken, but familiar. "Ravi, can you hear me?" His heart stopped. He turned the dial carefully. Static cleared just a little. "I don't know if this is reaching you, but I hope it is. I miss Earth. I miss you. I'm still here." Ravi's hands shook, grabbed his recorder, and saved the message. Then he ran to his computer and began typing. He wrote a letter, short and simple. "Lena, I heard you. I never stopped listening. I miss you too." He uploaded it to the EarthStar VoiceNet, a new public system that sent audio across long-range channels in space. The next night, he sat again with the headphones on, and then it came. Her reply, "Ravi, you heard me. I can't believe it. Engineers here fixed a small part of the signal, and your reply made it through. I'm crying right now. You waited all this time?" Ravi smiled with tears in his eyes. "Yes," he whispered to the radio, "because that's what we do." Later, that week, he got a message from Luna Base Communications. His story had spread across the station. Boy finds lost friend through radio signal. People were inspired. Families across planets started trying to reach their loved ones again. The VoiceNet became active with thousands of new messages. But for Ravi, only one voice mattered. We spoke every night now, even if just for a few minutes. Their voices echoed through static, but they were clear enough. And with every word, they felt closer. Because humans don't give up. We listen through silence. We search through static. We wait with open hearts. And when we hear even a whisper of someone we love, we answer, "That's how we shine in the dark." That's HFY. Ellie stood at the spaceport, her hand shaking a little as she held a small sign, "Welcome home." She had written the letters by hand, bold, simple, and clear. Behind her, families were gathered, some holding flowers, some holding back tears. The large transport ship from Jupiter's orbit was almost ready to land. It had been nearly a year since Ellie last saw her father. He had gone on a deep space mission as part of a science crew. At first, they had messaged every other day, short voice notes, funny pictures, and little updates. "Ellie, you'd love this moon?" Or "I saw a rock that looks like your cat." Then came the silence. "A system failure," they said. Months passed with no word. At first, Ellie tried not to worry. He'll be back, she told herself. He always keeps his promises. But days turned into weeks. The fear grew quietly inside her. She started recording short video messages to him. Every evening before bed, she'd sit at her desk and talk like he was still listening. "Hi, Dad. School was boring today. I tried that recipe you love, it was a mess. The sky looked really clear tonight." She sent them all, even if they didn't go through. Made her feel close. Then one night, a message arrived from the Space Council. The mission team was safe. The ship had reconnected and was on its way home. She had cried for hours, and now, here she was waiting. The crowd gasped as the ship finally touched down. The metal ramp lowered. People began to step out slowly. Ellie's heart raced. Then she saw him. Taller than she remembered, a bit thinner, and with a tired smile, but it was him. "Dad," she shouted. He turned in 1 second, he dropped his bag and opened his arms. Ellie ran and hugged him tightly. "I got all your videos," he whispered into her hair. "Every single one." "You did?" she said, pulling back in surprise. "We couldn't reply," he said, "but the system stored them. They kept me strong. I listened every night. You were with me, even when I couldn't answer." Ellie smiled through tears. That evening, back at home, they sat together under the stars. Ellie pointed at the brightest one in the sky. "That's the one I looked at every night," she said. Her dad nodded. "That's the one I looked at too."
Nice.
They sat in silence, hands together, hearts full. Because sometimes love is quiet. Sometimes it's just a message sent with no reply, her voice into silence. A memory held close. But humans don't give up. We talk even when no one answers. We wait even when we don't know how long. Hold on when others might let go. And when the moment comes when the ones we love return, we don't ask why it took so long. We just say, "Welcome home." That is the heart of being human. That is HFY.